الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. To proceed, to continue our discussion of the statement of Ibn Wajarum فَالنَّوَاسِبُ عَشَرَةٌ, those matters that make the present tense verb mansubun are 10. وَهِيَ, and they are. In our previous lesson we spoke about an, walan, wa'idhan, wakay. Therefore in today's lesson we will complete them bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, with the exception of والجواب, and responding بالفاء والواو, and that is for a reason that I will explain inshaAllah ta'ala. So to begin, therefore, walamu kay. Walamu kay. So we shall write it here, lamu kay. We know that lamu kay, like all the others, is a harfu nasbin. Harfu nasbin, which means tansibu al-fi'la al-mudari'a. Tansibu, it makes mansub al-fi'la al-mudari'a, the present tense verb. What does lamu kay represent? It represents ta'leel, or the reason why something was done. And it has the same meaning, so it's synonymous with kay, which is the harfu nasbin that precedes it. So to explain, therefore, if I was to question you, why did you come? How do we say that? Limada, which is why. Then we need a verb, you came. In our previous lesson we mentioned the verb ja'a, so today we'll mention ata. And if we say you came, it is atay. Atay, rather that's not a sukoon, that's a fatha, atayta. Hasana, right, question mark at the end. So we have limada atayta, why did you come? The response that I would give using lamu kay, which is we said is for ta'leel, to explain the reason why something has happened, is I would say ataytu, I came. Ataytu, or rather you would say I came, ataytu li adrusa. Now, ataytu li adrusa is a response to limadha atayta. We've used lamu kay here, preceded, and that's preceded the al-fi'lu al-mudari'u. And what effect has it had upon al-fi'lu al-mudari'u? We know it has the effect of making adrusu adrusa. So if we're to do the i'rabun, therefore we'd say that lamu kay, so the lamus lamu kay, adrusa is al-fi'lu al-mudari'u. It is mansubun bi lamu kay, because of lamu kay, and fa'iluhu mustatirrun wajuban taqdiruhu ana, and its fa'il is hidden by necessity and it's considered to be ana. Ataytu is just fi'lun madin, as we know. Now, li adrusa here, the point to note is that because of the presence of lamu kay, which is a harfu nasbin that we're speaking about, it has made adrusu adrusa like the remainder of them. So lamu kay is therefore similar in meaning to kay, what preceded it, and of course it has the same effect, which is the reason why it's included here. Now the only other point to note regarding lamu kay, and we spoke about this in our previous lesson, is the difference of opinion regarding whether lamu kay renders al-fi'lu al-mudari'u mansubun bi nafsiha, by itself, or because there is an assumption that an is part of it. And there's a difference between Ahlul Kufa and Ahlul Basra regarding this. Ibn Ajrum, following the school of Ahlul Kufa, considers that Lamu K makes al-fi'l wal-mudari'u mansubun bi nafsiha, by itself. Ahlul Basra, they differ. And they say that Lam is here, in this instance, is actually a harfu jar. And what is made, or what makes adrusa here, mansubun, is what we say, the presence of n following the lam. So it's considered to be al-muqaddarah, it's considered to be assumed to be there. And by the assumption that it is there, it renders adrusu, adrusa. Now, as we mentioned, our Shaykh Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymeen, rahimahullah, he has a statement regarding these matters of differences amongst the grammarians. He said, إذا اختلف النحويون في مسألة سلكنا الأسهل من القولين. That if the scholars of grammar differ regarding a particular issue, then سلكنا, we follow al-ashala, that which is easiest, min al-qawlaini, from the two statements. Now this, it's important to note that when we're speaking about following the easiest of the two opinions, grammar or matters pertaining to understanding and the application of grammar are not like matters of the Sharia, in the sense that we are obligated with them, such as the prayer and the fast and the zakat and so on and so forth. We are not obligated shar'an, by virtue of the Sharia, to take an opinion with regards to whether Lamu K by itself renders al-fi'l wal-mudari' mansubun, or it's assumed to be accompanied by an. That's not a matter that the Sharia has obligated upon us. Therefore, in those matters, as the Shaykh rahimahullah explained, it's allowed for us to follow the simplest of the two opinions, and that is allowed, and you shouldn't assume that that's something which is derogatory or negative in any way. That therefore is what we wanted to speak about regarding Lamu K. Therefore, the next nasibun in our list is Lamul Juhudi. So I shall write it here, Lamul Juhudi. And that too, like the others, is Harfu Nasbin. And as we know, that what Harfu Nasbin does, Tansibu al-fi'la al-mudari'a. It makes mansub al-fi'lu al-mudari'u, the present tense verb. What therefore does Lam al-Juhudi represent? It represents a nafi, to negate something. And that's its usage. Now, it follows a particular type of construct, and that construct is one of negation. What does that mean? If we say, for example, ma kana. Ma kana means he or it was not. It's used for negation. Now, what is derived from kana, or the negation of kana, ma kana, is lam yakun. Lam yakun. And similarly, we have, for example, غير كائن. And there are others, but we'll suffice ourselves with these three examples. ما كان لم يكن and غير كائن. Why did we mention this? Because, as we said, Lam al-Juhudi, it's a harfu nasbin, but it follows that construct which is used for negation. So that's its purpose. It's used for juhudi, which is negation. So to illustrate, therefore, if we take the ayah where Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ, in Surah Al-A'raf. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ. There we are. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ, which means, and it is not that Allah will punish them. Now, why do we mention this example? Because we're illustrating Lam al-Juhudi. Where is Lam al-Juhudi here? Before yu'adhibuhum. Yu'adhibuhum means he punishes them. It's a present tense verb. We have li before yu'adhibuhum. Li is our Lam al-Juhudi, which is the reason why we mentioned it. Now, because we have a li, and that is harfu nasbin, then you can see here we have al-fatha upon yu'adhibahum, upon the ba here. So the meaning of this therefore is, and it is not that Allahu Azza wa Jalla will punish them. And we have other examples such as the ayah لَمْ يَكُنِ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ, for example, and there are numerous other instances. This here, li, is Lam al-Juhudi. It follows a construct that represents negation, makana. It is not, it's important to be aware of this, it is not Lam kay. Rather, it is Lam al-Juhudi following a construct of negation. If we were to do the i'rabun of this, then ma is harfu nafyin. It's for nafiya, negation. Kana is fi'lun madin. It is fi'lun madin, and it is mabniyun ala al-fathi, upon the fatha. What does kana do? Well, we know it raises al-isma wa tansibu al-khabara. We know that kana tarfa'u al-isma. So this is al-isma here, the name, and tansibu al-khabara. Allahu is al-lafdhu al-jalala. It is al-lafdhu al-jalala, and it is al-ism. Li here is, we know, Lam al-Juhudi. Lam al-Juhudi. Yu'adhiba. That is fi'lun mudari'un. And it is mansubun. Why is it mansubun? Bilami al-Juhudi. Wa alamatu nasbihi al-fathatu al-dhahiratu ala akhirihi. Hum here is fi mahalli nasbin maf'ulun bihi, because it is a mabniyun, and of course as we know, which is mabniyun, must always occupy a position of i'rab as opposed to it being apparent upon it. That therefore is i'rabun af وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ, and that illustrates the use of Lam al-Juhudi. Our next nasibun in the list is hatta. If we write hatta here, hatta is, as we know, harfu nasbin, wa, and we also say ghayatin. Harfu nasbin wa ghayatin. What does, we know what nasbin means, to make mansub. Ghayatin represents an objective, a purpose. So if we say therefore, I study Arabic, or I study grammar rather, in order to perfect it, how would we say that in Arabic? Adrusu النحو حتى. So So this is my objective, my غاية, purpose. حتى أتقنه. حسنا. أدرس, I study. This is فعل مضارع مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره وفاعله مستتر وجوبا تقديره أنا أدرس. النحو is مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره. حتى is حرف نصب وغاية. أتقنه is فعل مضارع منصوب بحتى وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره. And who is في محل نصب مفعول به. It's the object of أتقنه. This represents an example of the usage of hatta. Why? Because we are saying I study an-nahwa, grammar. And what's my ghaya, my objective? My objective is atqina, in order to perfect or master the study of that language. Like the others, there's nothing particularly complex or difficult to understand regarding hatta. The point to note, therefore, is, like the others, tansibu al-fi'la al-mudari'a. And the more you say that, inshallah ta'ala, the more that you'll perfect it. Now, the point to note, like lamul juhudi and lamul kay, that there's a difference amongst the grammarians. Ahlul Basra, the people of Basra, historical school of grammar, they consider hatta to be harfu jar. Therefore, in their opinion, what precedes hatta is an. There is an an there. It's al-muqaddara. It's assumed to be there. And as a consequence, atqinu becomes atqina. Ahlul Kufa consider that hatta, again, it makes mansoob, the present tense verb, by itself. Regardless, Ahlul Kufa, they too consider hatta to be a harfu jar. Precedes, I comes before an ismun. So when it comes before an ismun, hatta is considered to be a harfu jar. But when it comes before al-fi'lu al-mudari'u, it's considered to be from an-nawasib, and that's the distinction between them. So when it comes before an ismun, it's considered to be a harfu jar according to Ahlul Kufa. But when it comes before a present tense verb, it's considered to be a nasib of when it precedes an ismun would be like the ayah salamun here hatta, and then we have matla al-fajr, matla al-fajri, salamun, peace. It is hatta until matla'i, the appearance or the arrival of al-fajr, dawn. So this ayah, well known, represents an example where hatta here is not a nasib. It's not from the matters that make the present tense mansub, rather it is a harfu jar. How do we know this? Because matla'un is an ismun, as it is here, represents the meaning appearance of dawn. So therefore it makes matla'i majrurun because of the effect that a harfu jar has upon an ismun. We hope that is clear, the distinction between hatta being used as a nasibun and a harfu jar as in this example. The next two from al-nawasib is represented by والج بالفاء والو, which means and to respond with al-fa and al-waw. But we're not going to speak about those two in this particular lesson. And the reason being is because they require a more detailed explanation. And we don't want to elongate the lesson. So we're going to defer that to the next lesson, inshallah ta'ala. And we're going to speak next about al. Al is, again, harfu nasbin. Harfu nasbin. Harfu nasbin, we know it. The effect it has upon al-fi'l al-mudari' tansibu al-fi'l al-mudari'. Now the point to note about al is that when used in a sentence as a nasib, then it will convey one of two meanings. Either it will have the meaning of ila, which we know means to, and we'll make an exception and write that in English. So to, or it has the meaning of illa. Illa, which means until. To repeat, therefore, when used in a sentence as a nasib, al will have either the meaning of illa or illa, until. So illa we know means to, illa means until. So how can we differentiate and understand when it's going to be used as illa or illa? And there's a particular rule, and that states that if what follows the nasib al is the objective of what preceded it, then it has the meaning of illa. If now what follows al, whatever follows it in our sentence, it is the objective of what preceded it, then it has the meaning of illa. Otherwise, it's going to have the meaning of illa. Therefore, now to illustrate the distinction between the usage of al to mean illa and illa, we want to say in Arabic that I am going to accompany you in order to learn Arabic. But we don't want to use the nasib in order to, the ta'leel. We want to use al. Right? It will become clear in a moment, inshallah ta'ala. So I want to say, as a diligent student would say to his teacher, that I'm going to represent that statement in Arabic. We would say la al-zamannaka. And now this is the point to note. We want to say oh. And remember, there's a connection between what follows o and what precedes it. And if what follows o is the ghaya, the objective of what precedes it, then o has a meaning of ila. لألزمنك أو تعلمني لما لي النحو حسنا لماني النحو حسنا لألزمنك, I am going to accompany you. أو to تعلمني, you teach me النحو, Arabic grammar rather. Now the point to note here, of course, is the usage of أو to mean ila. أو here has a meaning of ila. Why? Because we're conveying that meaning, that I'm going to adhere to you, to I continue to do this, to you teaching me in English. If we say that I'm going to adhere to you, أو to تعلمني, you teach me النحو. If we translate that to mean I'm going to adhere to you, to the point that you teach me Arabic, then that wouldn't make sense, because you want that accompaniment or adhering to continue. It's continuous, and that's a distinction between the two. Why? Because if we say, for example, لَأَدْرِبَنَّ, I'm going to hit, لَأَدْرِبَنَّ means I'm going to hit al-lassa. What does al-lassa mean? It means the thief. Al-lassa. Al-lassa is the thief, the person who enters into your home in order to take your possessions. So what we want to say is لَأَدْرِبَنَّ, I'm going to hit al-lassa until يخرج, he exits. يخرج. Note in both instances, تؤلمني and يخرج, both of them are mansubun. Why? Because أو تنصب الفعل المضارع. Now note the distinction in meaning between these two sentences. In the first, we're saying I'm going to accompany you, and that accompaniment is going to continue, and during the course of it, to eliminate, you're going to teach me Arabic. And the second, لَأَدْرِبَنَّ al-lassa, I'm going to strike al-lassa, the thief, meaning until, يَخْرُجُ, he exits from wherever, my distinction house. Between the two sentences is that in the first, to eliminate is the ghaya, the objective of that accompaniment. In the second example, my striking of al-lassa will only continue up to the point that he exits, as opposed to the first, where my accompaniment of the one who's teaching me will continue as long as I am learning an-nahwa. And that is how we differentiate between the usage of al to mean ila, or for it to mean illa, until. In both instances, of course, because al is from al-nawasib, then it makes mansubun al-fi'la al-mudari'a that follows it. Here to al-limani, and here yakhruja, and we shall conclude on that point. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.